Heyo, Starving Writer here, and I'm ready to talk about Biomutant. So let's talk about it. Starting off the game, I got to customize a character, but not in the same sense I was used to. The character was created by how I wanted to allocate my stats, body shape changing depending on what stat is greater, like a big head for intelligence or long, slender body for dexterity. After character creation, there's a quick tutorial about basic gameplay and the very first choice of the game. There are a lot of choices to be made, moving you towards light or darkness. The first decision is obvious what side I was moving towards. The rest of the choices throughout the game weren't very hard to figure out where I was going either. Same with the puzzles. There were a lot of little puzzles to move forward that weren't difficult to manage, except one puzzle. The darn sundial puzzle I never figured out. Besides puzzles, looting, and stats, there is combat. The combat looks like it could get complicated if you wanted to play that way, with the various weapons and combos you can use, but I found a weapon I liked early on and pretty much stuck to the same 4-move combo throughout the entire game. It never let me down. So all in all, it didn't really involve a whole lot of thinking to get through it. One thing I thought was cool was the crafting of weapons and gear. I would find pieces of all sorts of things like scopes, grips, blades, and even a shovel, which I think was the blade of a sword. I could put add-ons in my gear to up specific stats pertaining to the piece, going for optimal usage, but I did eventually give up on the gear and wore the same stuff for the last half of the game. It didn't feel like it made much of a difference. Now, while I was playing the game, it seemed to support extra wide for my screen, but it felt like I was missing a lot in the top and the bottom of the screen. On one puzzle, I couldn't see everything, so I changed my resolution and everything showed up. That was pretty annoying. I could still play without seeing everything for the most part. The world in Biomutant really is gorgeous, with a wide range of different biomes from dead wastelands to luscious forests. Out in the open, you can really get a good look at the portrait of the world. Travel from broken down buildings with vegetation growing over it to old tunnels full of darkness and monsters to find every piece of gear and every weapon. There's a lot to explore, and even more to fight. Everywhere you look, there's little critters looking to take a bite out of you, be it from local tribes moving around or just wild monsters. Now, there is a lot to explore, but I didn't explore everything. All in all, I would say it was an enjoyable experience. I don't think I'll be playing it again. I found the game to be redundant, almost the exact same dialogue between multiple key characters throughout the story. I was never really torn between choices in the game, always knowing what I wanted to do. Like I said earlier, the combat can be as complicated as one would want it to be, but the simplest move set can get you through the entire game. I found I was pushing to finish the game for the last few hours, ignoring enemies and chests, just trying to get to the end. It lost my interest about halfway through. Not that it was a bad game, I just don't feel like it was for me. That is why I would have to label this in the low shelf area. Alright, now that we're done with that, let's move on to the next one.